Alright guys, welcome back. Just finished cutting the last control horn slot. Not gonna lie, pain in the butt. And Skymaster needs to do a better job about getting the wood blocks where they need to be. This particular system for this type of hinge pin, I guess whatever it's called, is not the best, because in order to get the pivot point on the pivot point of the control horn on the axis, the pivot point of the control surface, you really got to get it close up there. And there's a I didn't know this, but there's a plastic tube that runs all the way down that the pin is guided through. And if you're not careful, you'll cut into that. But the problem is they had some of these that line up right on a hinge joint. It just needs to come up with a better placement of the servos with the servo arms, or come up with a better system altogether. This, it might be better just to have one control horn instead of the doubled up piece, but I don't know. It's just a pain in the butt. I gotta go back and clean them up, and then some of these I did get into wood, like the flaps and the elevators and the rudder. I don't think it was wood, it was just a bunch of resin, so there's something in there to glue to. I might have got to just a portion of the wood block in the rudder, but the ailerons, no blocks for those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what I did with my F16. I got a paint sponge that you can cut up little chunks, soak it in epoxy. I can't remember if I used epoxy or Gorilla Glue, but either way, you can soak it in epoxy and push it down into these holes with like a little wire, and it kind of, once it's in there, it kind of returns to its form, and it gives something for this control horn to bite to instead of just glue. So I'm not too worried about it. I think they'll be fine if I do that. Like I said, most of them are in some wood or a solid block of resin, so that's a good thing. But they need to come up with a better design than this. Actually, an easier fix would be a better control horn. Maybe have something that comes up, kind of angles, like the old Robarts. It starts here and then it like shark fins forward. These are just not the best design, but I managed to make it happen, and it's ugly. It's a lot of dremeling, whatever you're going to call it. It's a lot of cutting, and it's not pretty. So I'm in here with a dust mask on and a vacuum cleaner sucking up as I go. But anyways, I got it done. I'm going to go through and take a Dremel, clean everything up, and then get ready to glue some things, get that glued in and set up. Hopefully once that's done, I can get to putting the tanks together, see how much, make sure they don't leak, and just mounting the tanks and just starting putting everything like a final assembly. I might can get that back bulkhead in, but I'd really like to wait till I get the turbine to put in it, to kind of line up the pipe before I go gluing in this front support, and the actual bulkhead that the thrust vectoring measures or mounts to actually has to be glued in as well. So after this and a final assembly, I may be put on hold for a little while. So, but I'm gonna get back to it. Like I said, you can see it's just it's hard to do. Oh, back up. Cutting these slots, because like I said, right there is the actual pin or tab that the hinge is on. So you can kind of see in there, I actually cut into that front wall that's right here. So if I took these off, you'll be able to see into this area. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to coat everything that is a joint and pivot point with some grease. That way, when I put these things in here, if it's near something like this, it won't lock something up. So, but that's it for now. I'm gonna get these laid up, or get some glue mixed up, and start working these things into alignment, getting them right over the pivot point of the surface, and try to get everything measured the same. That way my throws are all equal when I go to set everything up. But you guys take it easy, and I'll get back to it later.